Periods are a natural, normal part of daily life, yet for some, they are a source of stress, shame, or stigma. Modibodi is committed to encouraging open, frank, and real conversations about periods, and pregnancy, incontinence, and menopause for that matter, and to helping provide access to menstrual products for every body. Founder Kristy Chong believes that together, we can create great change and huge impact.
So, Modibodi started with the conversion of a challenge into an opportunity. Kristy, please share your aha moment with the development of your period panties that have changed the lives of people around the world and the conversation that you were committed to start with this.
Absolutely. Well, look, it really developed out of this, this idea to give women, and I suppose all bodies, a better solution to manage their leaks. And for me, it came from a personal need. So I was a mum of two and I was living in Seattle. My periods had not long returned, but I'd also started to experience some light bladder leaks, which 1 in 3 mums actually suffer from, just on the odd occasion. And I was in training for a marathon. I decided to run the Seattle Marathon. And I don't know, I suppose with all that time, I just came to the realization that my underwear was failing me and that I'd been putting up with disposable hygiene to manage these leaks, which are eco-damaging and inconvenient and seriously uncomfortable. So I know Seattle's a really, organic and very high-tech place. And so maybe that was where the inspiration as well came from. But I just thought there has to be something better. And when I did a little bit of research, I realized there wasn't. So I thought, I'm going to make something better. There's got to be all these advances now in fiber technology. So I'm going to go out and design something. And I spent the next 18 months researching and scientifically proving the fiber technology behind our brand.
That's amazing. With a product to bring comfort to women and a platform to support conversation about menstruation and leaks, Modibodi is breaking down barriers, quite honestly, and crossing boundaries that haven't been crossed before. Most recently, with your social change project entitled Embodied, Modibodi partnered with Getty Images, photographers around the world to rewrite the narrative with Postpartum Unfiltered. And this is a library of raw images sharing real bodies, real moments, real milestones, so postpartum women feel seen, feel understood and supported. This is a story I'm very excited to hear. What's the story behind this initiative?
Well, at Modibodi, we've always been about, our vision is about limitless positive impact. And so whether that's designing very innovative products that are more sustainable and actually offer you better performance than the current solution, or whether that's creating change through opening the conversation and normalizing the experiences that we, a majority of us as women, face. So that's what I've always been about, being really honest about, what periods look like, speaking the facts about, how they impact our lives, whether it's how we represent our bodies, that, and in our models and everything, we've shown diversity, inclusivity, and just the realness by not photoshopping them. That's been a very important mission of ours to just make other women and all people feel more comfortable with the marketing that they're seeing, that they look at those images, they go, yeah, that's more like me, rather than, oh, that's just not like me, or I cannot connect and feel bad about themselves. So that's just been a big, push of ours at Modibodi, limitless positive impact in all we do. So, after we launched our period and leak-proof underwear, we saw great success. I always knew I wanted this to be bigger than just a one product brand. And I saw the opportunity to move our technology and to grow and develop new technologies in new areas. And one area, being a mum of 4, I realized was very underdeveloped was reusable nappies. Yes, they did exist, but they were either not very absorbent, or they didn't keep the baby dry, or they're a little bit difficult to use and then wash and take hours to dry. So we developed, a more advanced version of the reusable nappy, which I'm really proud about. And we're getting, lots of great feedback from customers, from media, and from awards. So, but I didn't want to just, again, produce a product. That's not what we're about at Modibodi. We're all about that social change and pushing to normalize the experiences that go along with choosing these products. So that whole postpartum experience, it's either being portrayed as, really sad or, very joyful. That there was no other emotion when you looked at the images available. And I thought, enough is enough. Let's show the spectrum of emotion and experience that women go through. Because having had 4 kids, every single one of those journeys with my children has been absolutely different. I've had days of insomnia. I've had, days of exhilaration, and just other very blah days where I want to go back to work. So, there's so much more than just what was being portrayed. So that was the whole reason behind it.
Wow. Well, you've done a beautiful job, and anyone who's not had a look at the campaign and these images needs to do so, because it truly makes a statement, each and every image. So thank you for taking the reins on that and helping people to be seen. It's so important. Another thing, so important, when it comes to period poverty, right? This is a global health issue, which reinforces gender inequality, increases hardship, and causes people to miss out on education, work, social activities, you name it. In response to this issue, in 2021, Modibodi is donating 100,000 pairs of reusable, leak-proof underwear to 20,000 people in need. In addition to this, you're doing more than that. In addition to this, you've provided an open invitation for individuals to join you in addressing period poverty. So that said, I would love for you to share a bit about Give a Pair program.
Absolutely. I think, I just want to start this, I suppose, by taking the issue to the US. And, a research has shown that for low-income women living in the USA, 1/5 do not have the resources to be able to afford purchasing menstrual products. That's how bad the issue is. It's just, it's phenomenal. There's so many people on the poverty line, and so many of them are women, and they're going to choose food over menstrual products. And the anxiety, I know that often disposable products are given out, but that's for 1 month. Then they've got that anxiety of, well, what am I going to do next month? And, they turn to things like rags, newspapers, or they use the same products over and over again, and very unhygienic. And we don't want that. So at Modibodi, we're all about social impact and that social change. So yes, we've got customers who can afford our products, but I've felt, what can we do to get our products into the hands of those who can't? And so, yes, this year we decided through our Give a Pair program to give away 100,000 pairs. And now any customer can join us. They can go on to our website, they can make a donation, and we will directly distribute those products into the hands of women in need. We've got partners all over the globe, in the US, in a global partner in Plan International. We've got partners in the UK and Australia. So we are supporting areas all over the globe. 100,000 is just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more to do. But, for us, it's a key priority. It's part of our leadership team. We do want to look at this whole shared value model, working with these major, I suppose, charitable organisations like Plan and the UN to really help champion change, whether that's reducing the stigma that's associated with periods, or whether it's actually getting a product into the hands of people in need. We're going to, as we grow, that area of our business is going to grow.
That is wonderful. And it's such important work, such honorable work that you're doing, considering that, this is where life begins, is with this process and with this, and for there to be any stigma whatsoever associated. Thank you for doing the work that's been needed to be done for a long time. And I'm excited that it's getting done.
Thank you. Yes, we will keep championing it and finding those partners to help us deliver those products. I think the other thing I wanted to just mention was we are following through on the impact. So we're not just distributing the product, we're ensuring that the actual product gets into the person's hands and the menstruating person's hands, and it delivers good social change. So whether that means they can go back to school, or they can work, they can work and get out of the house and continue to work. That's our objectives, and we will measure that, ensure that's happening as part of our campaigns. Because I think there's a lot of other people out there and other brands, they just donate. They don't really care what happens and the impact they're having, and that's a significant difference at Modibodi.
Oh, that's incredible. And it's so as we just mentioned, I mean, while periods are natural, they're normal and part of daily life, they are incredibly taboo. So how do we go about changing this and providing people with permission to speak about periods? And why is this important?
Look, we have to break down the stigma around periods. So, we have to remove the embarrassment and the shame. It's an absolute necessity. We need to be more open and talking about them so we can help normalize the conversation. If we don't talk about it, you never normalize the conversation. So, they can be messy for some, most of us, right? Let's face it, but they can also be quite debilitating. And for those who have very debilitating symptoms, we can't silence them and let them live in shame. They feel a lot. They do feel a lot of shame because of those things, and like they're not allowed to, or something wrong with them. So we at Modibodi always want to remove that, and mention the unmentionables, is what we like to call it at Modibodi as well. The reality is there are 800 million people menstruating daily. So look around at all the women and girls, and most likely one of them is bleeding on that day. So it's just, as you said, Ali, it's so normal, yet there's just been all this shame and terrible stigma. And part of that's come about, I believe, through the products that have gone alongside the management of periods. And, back in the 50s, when the tampon was launched, it was all medicalized. It's all about, just plug it up, forget about it, shut it up. It doesn't exist. And then, of course, the use of the blue liquid, so to medicalize it. Blood is red. There's no shame in the color of our blood. But that's why we need to open those conversations, and we need to depict the real images and talk about the real stories that people experience while menstruating.
Mm-hmm. And it's so nice to have a safe space to do that. It's so required. I can speak personally, as can you, as can every woman, if they wish to say, me as a woman who has used feminine products to manage my period all of my life until only 6 months ago, I can share that period panties have changed my life. I can say that, and I'm no longer uncomfortable about that time of the month or the way I feel about my body while bleeding. I find comfort, finally, with the garment that can give me the security and safety that I never had, but always wanted. So not just until now. So first of all, thank you. And, would ask you, to anyone who has not had the Modibodi experience, what would you like to personally share? These women who are, I don't know, like, this is what you need to know.
I suppose I want them to know, when they're purchasing the Modibodi products, they're purchasing not only a product, but the brand that has their back. That we are out there fighting for this social change, that we are out there fighting for impact. And we'll do everything possible to be more sustainable, and to give back, because that's the brand that we truly are, and that comes from a leader who believes in authenticity and leads by authenticity. I think second to that, our Modibodi products are all scientifically proven. So we put the science in and the hard yards in to make sure they work, and they've been also tested now, because we've been in the market. We were one of the first brands to ever launch into this space. They've been tested by hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people globally. So, we get many, many 5-star reviews. So that should give you the reassurance that they actually work. And then I'd also say, the safety's there. That's all there as well. So don't worry about any safety issues. We've done that. It's all Occuptech approved. But lastly, if you're going to try them, don't just buy one pair. Buy a couple of pairs in different absorbencies, because getting to know your flow, especially if you've been using tampons or the sort, is something that you'll need to go through. And so we suggest buy a couple of pairs. And if you feel more comfortable, try them in the safety of your own home, if that's still of concern for you, as you get to know your flow and what absorbency you need. But yeah, overall, Modibodi, we're committed. We're going to, as I said, use our voice and our brand to keep championing for change and innovating in this space to be the most sustainable, the best performance, and the most safest products.
Right. Well, and one that I absolutely adore. So from me to you, there's just this right there. Thank you for doing the work that you're doing, Kristy. Thank you for sharing your story and for helping all of us become a bit more aware now. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much.